Hello, this is Jackson Cody, and this is my movie review on the movie Unbroken. Unbroken came out in 2014 and was directed by Angelina Jolie. Personally, Unbroken was one of my favorite movies of all time. I first watched this movie back in 2023, and I loved it from the start. Um, for my project, I was assigned to rewatch it, and I actually captured some even more details that I missed from the first movie. But this movie is absolutely amazing, and has some of the best scenes, some of the best cinematography, and best casting. So for this assignment, the task was to find or create a movie review on the historical accuracy and the quality. So let's start with historical accuracy. So in Unbroken, it follows the character Louis Zamperini, and Louis is a real person. This is a true story. Um, Louis' Olympic career, he was an Olympic runner, and every scene from the Olympics is real. It's all historically accurate. So is his 47 days while he was on the raft at sea in the Pacific Ocean, and his capture and imprisonment by Japanese forces. It's all accurate. It came from his testimony, and it's all documented in historical order of what happened. All the characters are also real people, like Zamperini, and then Phil and Mac, which were the people he shared the raft with, and then also Watanabe, the bird, real historical figure. Um, all the specific torture scenes and forced labor, they're adjusted slightly for dramatic purposes, but they're all real. It's all real things, especially the propaganda, like the forced propaganda. It's real. It is a little dramatized, but it's all real. Um, in the story, some elements are a little dumbed down for the storytelling. It doesn't talk about how Zamperini handled his life post war until you get to the end of the movie in the credit scene. He does get married, has children, he moves on. But Louis Zamperini does have PTSD and starts in alcoholism when he's older, and eventually he becomes Christian. Certain day to day things in the movie might not be like graphic enough to show the malnutrition and torture that these soldiers went through at these camps, but overall the historical accuracy is pretty good. The quality of the film. Overall, I thought this movie was extremely well made. The plane scene is awesome, and so is every scene where it flips when they're at in Tokyo at the camp. I think it's great, especially the scene where he gets punched by all his comrades. Very, very powerful scene. It's pretty sad too. But in the movie, Jack O'Connell plays Louis Zamperini, and he plays him perfectly. The role really like connects you emotionally to him, and the cinematography is amazing, especially the sea, and overall just the war, the bombings, the scene where they're on the roof. It's perfect. Um, this movie also has one of the best casts I've ever seen in a war movie. We have Jack O'Connell, who's Louis. We have C.J. Valeroy, which is Louis when he's young. It's not as famous, obviously. Uh, Domhnall Gleeson, who played Phil, who also plays General Hux in Star Wars. It's pretty awesome. So overall, really good casting list. Um, some of my favorite scenes, which also highlight the name of the movie, Unbroken. The plank scene, obviously, everyone knows the plank scene. The 5,000 meter race where he comes back. The scene where he's beaten up by the bullies and he gets up. The scene where he's beaten by his father for the things he done, and especially when right after that it shows his recoming into a proper lifestyle when he starts running track. The plane crash scene, and I talked about this, but the lining up and punching him. But overall, this is literally one of the best movies I've ever seen. I enjoyed every second of it, and it really highlights the torture and torment that these prisoners of war went through in Tokyo. It also like highlights the cruelty of the bird Watanabe, the things he did to these soldiers out of the blue too. Um, Especially because he's torturing these guys, and the "don't look at me" at the end, like that is an insane scene, and I think it's beautiful, perfectly well made to depict what actually happened. But the movie does a great job at getting you to hate him. But I think overall, his casting was amazing. After the war ended, actually, Louis went and met with all of his captors. The only person he didn't get to meet with was the bird, and that kind of shows you how cruel this man really is. He couldn't even meet with his captain at the end of the war. But overall, I think this movie was amazing. The quality, I'd give it a 9 out of 10, and the historical accuracy, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 as well. For overall, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 for the overall movie ranking. Genuinely one of my favorite movies I've ever watched, and I would watch it 1,000 times again. Thank you.